Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation on this week's reading, Media Magic Making Class Invisible. As stated in the reading, Americans spend an average 28 hours per week watching TV. These days, we spend a lot more time on social media sites as well. If you take a look at these numbers from the reading, you can see as time goes on, control of the media is falling to less individual identities. Considering how much time we spend consuming media, what we take in impacts us significantly. This in turn gives significant power to those who create mass media content. This week's reading explores how the creators of media influence social class and for whose benefit. According to the reading, the United States is the most highly stratified society in the industrialized world. In other words, social class impacts all aspects of life in the US. One's social class impacts the school they attend, the job they have, the healthcare they receive, and their general safety. Yet, as a society, we like to believe that everyone in the US, no matter what class they fall under, has equal rights and opportunities. It's a lovely idea, but unfortunately, it is just an illusion maintained by the mass media. So how does the media handle striking examples of inequality among classes, for example, the plight of the poor? For the most part, poverty is simply ignored. In 2014, over a 14-month period, three major networks devoted only 0.2% of their programming to poverty, while nearly 15% of Americans were living in poverty. On the rare occasion that poverty is reported, the poor are reduced to statistics, presented as drug addicts and welfare cheats, shown as an inconvenience to everyone else, perceived as doomed by their own personality or cultural traits, or deemed simply unlucky. But, as the reading states, poverty in the US is actually systemic. This means that economic and political policies create poverty. Incredibly enough, if our nation's existing wealth was redistributed, we could eliminate poverty altogether. However, why would we want to share the wealth with them when we have us to worry about? The media makes it clear that the world is divided between them, the poor underclass, and us, a group of affluent, intelligent, and socially savvy, like-minded individuals. So how is everyone else presented in the media? The concerns of the wealthiest upper class are presented as the concerns of everyone in between them and the poor. Because the wealthy do not exist as a class, they are individuals who achieved super success and keep the American dream alive. They include some bad apples, but in isolated and rare instances, of course. Between the wealthy and the poor is the middle class, which, as a part of us, is presented as one and the same with the wealthy upper class. The middle class is a victim of the welfare-abusing poor and the greedy workers. It is not a working class because blue-collar workers are a dying breed. The media blurs the line between the wealthy upper class and the middle class, but in reality the line is easily distinguished. Unlike your fellow college student, your neighborhood soccer mom, and your favorite barista, the wealthy worry about stock dividends, profit from inflation, attend exclusive schools, live like royalty, and are protected by private security. The wealthy upper class is the ruling class. They receive disproportionate amounts of the nation's annual income, they own a disproportionate amount of the nation's wealth, and they contribute a disproportionate number of members to government. In other words, they run the country in their own best interest. Can you keep a secret? As according to the media, the ruling class does not exist. To get the full scoop, head over to Corporate America for part 2 of the presentation.